Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? My name is Francisco. I'm Stride CEO. Imagine if there was a field where we ask professionals to spend a third of their time doing work that they hated and provided exactly zero value. That is exactly the case for 30 million software developers in the world today. They're stuck managing technical debt, which is the cleanup work they need to do after taking shortcuts to ship new features faster. You're not a developer? OK, congrats. But think about what your company is doing when hiring them. It's like hiring very, very expensive chefs to have them spend 30% of their time cleaning up breadcrumbs off the floor. But don't worry. Just like someone invented the Roomba to clean up the breadcrumbs for all of us, we have invented Stride Conductor to eradicate this technical debt. Conductor harnesses the power of generative AI to tackle the most important problem in technical debt, which is untested code or poorly tested code. Unlike one-size-fits-all solutions, Conductor adapts to your coding standards, to your strategy, to your unique situation. It writes code exactly like your software developers do, except it doesn't sleep or take breaks. What's there not to like? And in the process, it frees your developers to do what they love the most, which is build new products, generate business value. But enough talk. Let's actually see Conductor in action.
So as Francisco said, one of the key elements of eradicating technical debt is test coverage. And on average, a good test case can take something like 30 minutes to create. And I want to show you how we're going to do it in a matter of a few seconds with Stride Conductor. The first thing I want to mention is that Conductor is built for security, right? And it's built for environments that are, shall we say, unusual or custom. And the thing I want to point out here is that we're all running locally on my laptop. Everything you're going to see here is in my local developer environment. And the important thing about that is that this isn't a cloud product. It's not something where you got to sign in with all these private passwords and give your stuff away to the cloud, right? This is all running locally inside your environment. Now, we also use your preferred tools, whether it be IDEs or test suites or version control, and your choice of LLM. And it can be an LLM that's hosted in your private cloud or locally in your environment. I've picked as an example here the React.dev website. This is essentially developer documentation for the React web framework. I'm running it locally here on my laptop, and as it turns out, it has no test coverage whatsoever. So I'm going to show you how we would go about adding test coverage to this using Conductor. So the first thing is, like many teams, we're going to use Jira here. We can use whatever control system you want for project management or for requirements. But here I've added a ticket inside my Jira project that talks about adding some tests to the top-level navigation of this website. I've described the basic functionality I want. I've pointed out where the code is in this case. I don't always have to do that, but I've done it in this case. But I haven't given any details about how I want the tests to look, about what I want them to actually sort of return as behaviors. I'm going to use Conductor to do that. So if I switch over here, this is now my code, right? So this is Visual Studio Code, which is a common editor. We work with any editor that your team prefers. And this is my source code right over here. So I'm in the context of my code base. And what I'm seeing up here on the top is testing guidelines. Now, this is important because Stride Conductor is tailored for your code, right, and your organization. So you, in collaboration with Stride, come up with what these behaviors should be, right? We've picked some that we think are appropriate for this application. We've given some example tests. This is how we want our tests to look. But we're not saying, again, exactly what to do about the specific requirement that I've provided, right? We're going to use the LLMs to do that. So I'm going to start by proving to you that this has no tests. So I'm going to run my test suite, and you can see here there are no tests found, right? No tests at all in this application. So to start adding some, I'm going to go over and I'm going to run Conductor. And all I'm telling it is, using the context I've given you from Jira, run our test suite of agents, which I'll talk about in a second, and here's the code that I want you to look at. So by running this, a team of agents, a team of LLM agents, are going to look at this problem and essentially work together to add test coverage, similar to a human team. A human team would do these exact same things. We're simply doing it in a highly automated way at a very much more rapid pace. So what we've done here is we've written tests, we've reviewed them against the test guidelines, we have actually run the test suite up here, which I'll do again in a second. Those tests have passed, and you can see here the time taken to do this was approximately 9 seconds. So to recall, on average, good test cases take something like a half an hour, right? So this is an astronomical speed up compared to what your team is capable of doing today. So if I go back here really briefly, you'll see if I run this test suite again, I am going to get now a suite of running tests. And this is really crucial, I'm going to get a test coverage report. Now, your tools may vary about this, right? You may have your own suite inside your development teams that's telling you sort of where you are in your test coverage. you can also provide this context back to Conductor, and that's what's interesting, right? Because what I just showed you was a very, very small scale version of this. What we want to do is we want to provide the broader picture of your code base, your test suite, and actually let Conductor look at this report and make suggestions, right? Use your guidelines to produce a complete suite of tests. Now, again, the real magic here is that that enables your team to go faster. Okay, this is not just about test for testing's sake. This is about increasing the velocity of your team. The other thing here, beyond being secure and tailored, is that we are flexible. Conductor works with any style code base you want. We have successfully engaged with Java code bases and Go code bases, React code bases, PHP, even some COBOL and some PL1 for those in the room who deal with that. So we're really excited about the potential Conductor has to help you improve your code bases.
Yeah, so just to close, Conductor is already deployed for many of our customers. We're cutting software development costs by degrees of magnitude, all deployed within your environment for many financial services institutions. Not only your clients see benefits cutting development costs, but they also find benefits in accelerating software development, increasing quality, and freeing up your developers to do the work that they care the most about, which is building new features that generate revenue. But this is just the start. We want to eradicate technical debt completely, so we're building new modules to tackle other tech debt use cases, like legacy replatforming, repatterning, all tailored to your team, deployed securely within your environment. So we'd love to talk to you. If you want to test drive Conductor or you're interested in investing, please come by our booth. Thank you very much.